Okay, these are my old Y303 heads, the GT40 heads that came with the motor when I got it in my car, and we turbocharged these heads on the 347. Was having some breaking up issues on the high end, and dug into them and found, excuse me, if you can see the guide, horrible guide plate there. And geez, I don't know if you can see that or not. Let me focus this. That's some serious. I've never seen guides that worn out. So we're just getting rid of those. And I purchased another set of AFRs. I got the AFRs for the Dart motor, which this is not. This is the 347 stock block, and these are the 1388s, 58cc chambers. These are the biggest heads you can get before they raise the exhaust ports, and these will still bolt up with my manifold that I have. The geometry is all the same with the small block Ford, so that'll work just fine. These also come with the CNC chambers, intake ports and exhaust ports from the factory. They're all 5-axis CNC ported on them. I've also dialed in a new cam on this motor. I degreed it. It has 4 degrees advance already ground into the cam. We degreed it straight up, and it came within 1 degree of its spec on the cam card, so we left that alone. So I'm putting this back together. This is probably the 5th time I've had this engine out. I don't know. It's getting pretty easy to pull and remember where everything goes on these, because I've done it so many times now. But anyway, so yeah, we're bringing this. This camera won't stay in focus. We're gonna refreshen this back up. I'm just now working on the guide plates. I'm measuring for the push rod length I need. Setting this with about a 1/4 turn of lifter preload on when the cam is on its baseline or base circle. So I'm just checking this stuff out. But these are some PRWs. I don't know if you guys have used these before, but they're PRW stainless steels. They're 7/16 by 1.7. These heads only came with 3/8 studs. But since I'm going to run on that motor back there, that's the Dart block motor with the AFR 220 Renegades on it. I'm going to run shaft mount on those. I stole the 7/16 studs that came with that one, and I'm just decided to run them in these, be a little beefier. So I wasn't going to use them, but on this motor I will use them. I don't mind running the stud mount rockers on this setup. These springs are about 135 pounds on the seat, and over the nose, calculated with my cam, it's about 330 over the nose. Where the other springs were about 110 on the seat and 298 over the nose. And the springs, these are double springs, if you can see inside. They are not beehives, but they're just double, no dampener. Use a smaller inside spring. These were about $1,500 for these heads. But anyway, these should be a vast improvement over the GT40s. These flow insane. I looked at the actual flow numbers of those heads, the Y303s, and they are at 550 lift, like 205 CFM on the intake, and these are rated at 550. These flow 295. So I'm gonna have to do some more intake porting to take advantage of this. Now I understand that the Cobra intake down there, that is a Cobra lower, and I've got the Cobra upper, but I get that that's not ideal for this, but being that it's boosted, who cares? So I would rather have a Twisted Wedge R manifold or something like that, Trick Flow R manifold. But this with boost on it will, I'm sure, make a lot more power than my last combo did. I got to be careful, actually. I'm going to probably dial the boost back, because I'll probably hit power numbers with less boost, I'm guessing, with these heads. So I'm hoping my 42, those are 42 pounders, I think, hoping those will still flow enough. I'll have to look at the duty cycle when it's running. I just don't want to, in fact, I'll max those duty cycle out on those and then not run any more boost. I just don't want to buy new injectors for this motor or split it, which now I think I was making just over 540 wheel on this motor at best, running 15 pounds of boost. I never broke it, which is amazing. It's still intact. You guys can see down there I haven't split anything. I've looked carefully at the mains, and I'm wondering, I don't know if this does anything to help tie it together, being that I run this is, you guys familiar with QuickTime, this is insanely strong scatter shield, and I'm wondering if that helps tie it together in any way or strengthen this block versus you know, a T5 cast bell housing or anything. Don't know. I don't know if I'm just lucky, but I'm pretty sure that this has, with this combo, will make enough power to break this motor if I take it that far. But I hope not to do that. I've said in the past I didn't care, but now I do, because it's expensive. That would be a long time before I get this up and running again with that other dart block. I almost wish I had just bought an 8.2 deck height dart block and just went this route, because everything fits, the components work better. I could have run this set of heads on an 8.2 dart block and made still 900 horse on that with not having to worry about this motor breaking. So I wish I'd have done things a little differently, but you know, when I was buying the block, I'm like, let's just do a 351 block. Let's just do you know, the 427 stroker, which will be awesome when it's done. But the process of putting that together is daunting at best, and I've got a lot of it built. I've got a lot of the parts for it, but let me get. I've got the heads, obviously. I haven't done, what I have purchased is I've got a set of solid rollers right here. They're under the bag. These are just some Crowler solid rollers. They're about 700 bucks. List, these aren't brand new. I picked these up on eBay and they look flawless. Picked them up for 200 bucks on eBay, and I'm gonna use them because this this motor I got on shaft mount. These are run 800 pounds, almost 800 pounds over the nose of the cam, which is a tremendous amount of pressure. So it's gonna have to be a billet steel roller. Solid cam, obviously, and I just don't feel comfortable with 7/16 studs on almost 800 pounds of. I'm sure they'd work because that's what they come with, but I see 7,000 RPM with a lot of valve train walk, even with a stud girdle on it. So these are going to be either Jessel or there's some other companies out there that make them, but it'll be at least $1,000 for just the rocker arms, for the shaft mounted rocker arms to run these heads. So, and you can tell on these are the raised ports compared to the other AFR heads, and you can't even use this. This is the stock location on the, what would be on the other head. And you can see that the factory porting goes around that there. You can't even get a gasket really to seal. It's kind of pointless. You got to go to this wider flange, which means my whole, and they're raised almost, I think 5/8 of an inch up. So I'm going to have to get a whole custom flange and turbo stuff made for these when they go. But so for the time being, back to this guy. Again, we're running, we are running these heads, and we're going to also run water methanol. There's all the turbo stuff sitting over there, but I've got the water meth kit in there and MSD. I've got a few other goodies for it too. We're going to be, where is it at? Where I got them hiding. This is my other 5.0, by the way. It's already got a roll cage in it. I don't know, this motor might end up in there. So I picked up a MS2 MSD6AL2, and I've got a new coil, new gaskets, head gaskets, and things like that. So anyway, this video is long enough, and I'll let you know how this goes together.